Right, here we are at Chris Gordon's this morning. His lovely stables, showing us around the horses. And this one is a little bit special. What's his name, Chris?
Goodwin Racing. Grand name for a horse.
He's only run once and he came third in a bumper last season. He got quite well beaten, but since then the fourth horse has run well. So we're very hopeful for a good season ahead. Any of you want to have race horses, I'd recommend this man, Chris Gordon, the master trainer they call him.
We're at Worstead Farm Stables with Chris Gordon. Right, we're just about to launch into the new national hunt season, so hopefully you're going to mark our cards and tell us a little bit about what you're looking forward to running and racing this season.
Yeah, sure, Simon. So yeah, we're just about to kick off, and it's always a worrying thing when you kick off exactly where the horses are. So there's going to be a few questions over the next few days actually. So we've got quite a few runners going very soon. But no, the exciting ones for me, we're really looking forward to novice chasing would be Lord Baddesley. Lord Baddesley's a Doyen owned by Richard and Carol Cheshire, rated around 130. He's due to go at Warwick tomorrow. But his first run over fences, he would just hopefully a good clear round is what we're looking for. But he won two last year. He won two novices. Finished winning at Newbury on over two. So that's what we're starting him off. But he'd be an exciting horse to look forward to. And Annual Invictus, who's a 136 horse. He won three novices last year and was fourth in the Schweppes, where the Schweppes is now the Betfair, of course. And ran a blinder for a novice in that. So he's an exciting horse where they've both jumped and scored fantastically. So touch wood, we can do that on the racetrack. But they're horses I'd like to think are going to progress over a fence. There's an awful lot of them that don't ever jump a fence, and there's an awful lot that certainly don't improve for a fence. But these two, I think, will, my God, they've been dynamite schooling. So fingers crossed.
Okay. Any specific targets for the season?
Well, for those two particular guys, we would just be starting off and seeing how we go. And you just want to progress. Obviously, I've got a couple of things in my head which we'd like to aim towards, but we just have to see how those first one or two runs go. But anyway, those are the chasers. I think really looking forward to going hurdling this season. Goodwin Racing horses. I'm really looking forward to running Julian's. Goodwin Racing is a horse that was third in the bumper at Kempton. So you could third in the bumper at Kempton's a tough thing to do. So yeah, looking forward to him going over hurdles. He might have a run the bumper first. And see if we can win a little bumper, you never know. And then we'll go off over hurdles. Very nice horse to look forward to. Sandy Brooks, another one. He will run at Utoxeter on Sunday, as long as the ground's okay. Over 2 mile 3 in the maiden hurdle. He won a bumper last year at Hereford, and then he was second in a novice, his first novice at Fontmell. I can't believe he was second because he jumped really, really badly. We scored him an awful lot. He's a big chasing type. He's sort of 17-1, I suppose, and he just couldn't give a damn about the hurdles. But we've done lots with him, and hopefully we can get his jumping together this season. But he'll be a lovely, lovely novice to look forward to. Julian's other horse, Auken Risk, is the horse that will run in the bumper probably on Monday, but from then on we might go hurdling, might stay for another bumper, we shall see. But he's another exciting horse as well.
Okay, with a lot of these horses, is it a case of sort of stepping stones, see how you get on, one race and then decide what to do the next, or have you got a long-term plan if all goes well?
Yes, sometimes you do. With your better horses, it's easier to make a plan, because sometimes at the grade of the races you're pushed into avenues, shall we say, and you choose which way you want to go. But like a novice, you've got a nice novice and you might dream it might end up as a graded novice, but you have to just get out there and see. Horses can be very disappointing creatures, and right now there's an awful lot of bubbles that haven't been burst. The dreams are still alive, and when you start running them, it soon starts to sort itself out a little bit.
And what is your how many have you got ready to race this season?
Well, we've got 60 horses here at the moment. A lot of those are youngsters that won't get onto the track. A lot of those are youngsters where they'll be having their first sort of bumper runs this year, and they might just have 2 or 3 runs and that will be it. But We've got more than ever. You know, it's 60 for us is something we've taken a long time to get there, and it's a long time to get nice horses, and people are spending that little bit more money. Still, we're a long way from spending 100 grand, but you know, the average keeps on going up all the time, and we've got pretty competitive, nice horses in there.
And you sort of hopeful until you get them on the race course. Is that when you actually find out what they're made of for the young ones?
Yeah, you can't tell a horse's attitude. So, you know, you can see it going up the gallops and you can see it jumping, but sometimes you don't really know quite what a little warrior it might be. And there'll be a classic. I tell you what, a horse, Mount Windsor. I bought the horse very cheap and thought he was pretty moderate. I train him, I think he's quite moderate. I ride him every day this season and think he's quite moderate, but he's actually a very good horse on the track. And, you know, he's a horse that won 2 bumpers. And he won 4 hurdles in a row last year, and he started off at 102 or 103 and ended up 140. I think he did one run in another handicap, finished the season off 137. But, you know, it is extraordinary. But that horse has got a heart of a lion. And you just don't know that until you get out there on the track. So he's actually, he'll go to Chepstow, the big hurdle. I think it might be the Silver Trophy or something like that on the Saturday, which would be a week Saturday. So he'll go there, and you know, I think handicap wise, he's probably right on the cusp of what he could achieve. I can't believe he can go any higher. But he's probably going to come back down to be competitive again almost. But we'll have a crack and we'll see where we are. But I'd look at that horse and say, he's probably going to be a really good fun 0 to 100 horse. That shows you what a great game it is, because it keeps us all guessing. Yeah,
and we were, when I arrived, you were just sending the last lot out for the morning. Quite a few unnamed horses there, so have you've got some available if anybody's interested in a syndicate? Or
yeah, I think I've got my syndicates. I've got one horse called Unanswered Prayers that might have 10% in it left. But on the whole, I've only got singular horses. When the Irish Point to Point start, I will start buying the odd one and syndicating them. We just like nice owners. But let me get on with my job, and let me get on with putting my own jockeys on who have done all the work here. So and that's for me. Nice owners that let us get on with our job, and my yard's filled up with those nowadays.
Now, you were a successful point-to-point rider. Are you still going to the points looking for potential purchases?
I must say I haven't got into the English points yet. The Irish point-to-points is very, very different, because you've got a lot of good producers over there, and they're all buying 20, 30, 40, 50, even higher types of unbroken 3-year-olds, and they're all coming together as unraced. They haven't run on the flat, they haven't run in the novice chase, they haven't run in the hurdles, and it's so they're all going as green horses together, and their stakes are so high. They're, you know, if one of those horses, if it goes and wins as a 4-year-old, if it's a 30, 40 grand horse as a 3-year-old, it goes and wins as a 4-year-old and it wins well, it's 200,000 or 300,000, it can be. In the English point to points, there's 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 very good producers, and the rest aren't. And it's quite hard, some of those 4-year-old points, they are coming across horses which are run under rules. It's hard to sometimes grasp a form line to an extent. So I haven't bought an English pointer yet, but hopefully I will do, because it is slowly expanding more and more in England, and hopefully there's a future to be made from people producing them over here and selling them a bit more, which some people have done extremely well, but we just need a few more people doing it.
Okay, and finally, obviously you've got to respect the privacy of your owners, but is there a particular horse that you've got in the yard that you haven't mentioned that people watching this might want to keep an eye out for, that you're quite excited by?
I tell you, my sort of horses that had a run last year, I was called Stanley Pinkham, who was he was 3rd in the Kempton Bumper last year. Richard Johnson rode him and gave him 1 smack. I personally, winning the bumper first time out, I don't like it. I just want them to go and have a nice time. You know, what people don't realise, a lot of those Irish pointers or bumper horses, they've run in schooling races already. So they're very, very well educated. I don't want to be doing that at home, and it's just that there are bumpers for us, so I'd be able to educate horses. So he had a lovely run round, 1 smack, and finished, I think he's beaten a couple of lengths. He actually runs tomorrow at Warwick, so see how we've progressed from him, but he's a very nice horse. Horse what I call Highway 103, I think he was 4th in his first race at Stratford. first bumper, but the smashing jumping horse. There'd be a horse, Storm Dennis, who won a bumper last year at Warwick, and he's been jumping beautifully, and you're keeping them. And Unanswered Prayers, who I think I mentioned earlier on, actually probably didn't. Unanswered Prayers, he was second in the Kempton bumper. He's there for jumping, and they're there for jumping fences. So their progression's going to be interesting, because I've got to keep my one piece as hurdlers, because the excitement is getting them as various chases. But those are the guys that are really jumping and looking exciting at the moment.
Excellent. Well, we'll look forward to seeing them all come out, and wish you the best of luck.
Simon, many thanks.
Thank you.